He's one of our favorite guests to have on the show, and I'm going to stop talking to him like he's not here. Good to see you, Billy Gardell.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me back.
You bet. So let's just get right into it.
Go ahead.
Let's go dive right into the deep end of the pool.
Okay, go ahead.
What is it like for a diehard Pittsburgh guy to see Philadelphia being termed as the city of champions, which you cannot argue with them winning?
I do not argue. In fact, I'm excited about it for them. But let's put that in perspective. You know, one Super Bowl trophy takes up a case about that big. 6 trophies take up a case about that big.
It's much more expanded.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a yearly moniker. They earned it. They brought a lot of joy into my house, and they hit the over, which was very exciting. I rooted for them, and it was funny because the rivalry for Pittsburgh-Philly is not football. People mistake that. It's hockey. And, by the way, the Pens are in, looking for a three-peat, we believe. And my Bucks are undefeated right now. I know it's 4 games, but I'll take it.
I know.
But people were like asking me, are you going to root for Philadelphia? And of course I was going to root for Philadelphia because I think my disdain for New England is well documented.
Yes.
And we had that issue at Christmas, you know.
Yeah, anyway, when you were strolling around New York, you lit a candle for the Jets to try and beat the Patriots.
Just like a Dickens novel, walking around waiting for the next ghost to visit me. But Philly, when people asked me if I was going to root for Philly, I was like, yeah, and they were surprised. And they're like, well, how can you do that? And I was like, well, one, I don't like New England. And outside of Boston and some transplants, I don't know who was rooting for New England. I think everybody was rooting for Philly. And just the story of that team was good. But the Steelers, we kind of look at Philly like, you know that cousin in your family that gets a lot of DUIs and gets in trouble? And then they do something good, so then you got to show up at the thing and support them. That's kind of how we felt for the Eagles. You know what I mean? So we showed the troubled cousin.
You know,
we had to root for hey, Eddie got a job, everybody. All right. You know, so we were rooting for him.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for the back of the hand.
Yeah.
You know, you extended your hand.
Well,
gracefully.
The back out front.
You kind of went around.
Yeah.
You finally slapped.
Yeah, I got nothing against
the
Eagles. So I was rooting for him, and it was nice to see Brady sitting on his can at the end of the game and showing the true sportsman that he was by not shaking hands and running off the field.
Look at you.
Because you haven't done well enough, Tom. You're right. You shouldn't. You should just sit down and pout.
So that
gave me great joy.
You rooted for Philly hard in Super Bowl 51.
I did. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
No question.
All right. That'd be a Billy Gardell here on the Rich Eisen Show. So all that said, it's incredible how you were concerned about home field advantage for an AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
That never materialized.
No, it didn't. And in fact, what an embarrassment. Jacksonville was a good team, but they weren't that good. And when you throw up 40 and change in the playoffs and lose, you got to really look at the holes in the defense. And losing Shazier to that awful injury had way more of an impact than anybody realized. That whole year, we had trouble with the flats. And anybody who could work that on us really exposed that. And Jacksonville did that. They went up and down the field with these little wing outs, 5-7 yards. Brady murders us with it. And we're just really susceptible to it. And when Shazier went down, we were really susceptible to it. Our defense has always been predicated since really the Cowher generation, where we have really vicious pass rushers on the line and in the linebacking core, and that kind of hides the holes in the secondary. And losing him, and with a couple guys not turning out the way they should have, I think that was really exposed. The secondary was so terrible this year that it was just dismal to watch. I mean, I'm pretty sure our safeties and cornerbacks knew the last name of every wide receiver in the league because they spent the whole year chasing them. So it was, and that's what I think we need to address in the draft.
So what do you think the Steelers need to do? Okay, let's say a couple things here.
Go ahead.
Le'Veon Bell tweets out that it's tough to be a hero in a city that paints you as a villain. Is he a villain there?
No, I think that's a little dramatic. I think, Pittsburgh is a very working class city, so when you ask for a lot of money, you're going to get knocked around a little bit. And Antonio Brown got his contract, and he waited and got his contract, and that's what'll happen with Le'Veon if he's patient. But once in a while, you're going to get the tag slapped on you. And we sat with you through 2 blown knees. So you know what, man? You got to do what you're told, and you got to get your money, and I understand that, but rules are the rules. And look, man, if you don't like it, go to Miami. I don't care. I'm pretty hard line with that stuff.
I was about to see.
No, I'm pretty hard line with
that. Look at you, man. Go to
Well,
Miami.
You blew 2 knees out, and we waited for you to come back, okay? And that's okay, all right? That's part of it. But understand that this is just a business. It's not personal. They're gonna tag you when they can, and they're not when they can't. So, I wish him luck. I hope he gets his money. I just hope he's at camp at the beginning of the season, or it's going to be then he will be a villain, and it'll be hard to come back.
Billy Gardell here on the Rich Eisen Show. Do you think the
Pittsburgh treats everything like an old car? We're bad about that. Like, nah, you blew 2 tires. I'm going to wait and see how it's running before I give him another contract. You know what I mean? You gotta play to pay.
So what do you think the Steelers should do in the first round? Is if Lamar Jackson's sitting in there?
I grab him with both hands.
You do.
I would. And I tell you, I think what we need to address is we need a really good linebacker, a guy that can come in and make an impact right away. The secondary, we're missing that guy that gives us half the field, like Polamalu did, Carnell Lake did. We need a guy that shuts down an area. We haven't had that for years. And then I think I really like a quarterback a little bit, maybe in the second or third round. I like there's a big horse of a kid in Oklahoma. Kind of reminds me of Big Ben, and I think he would be maybe a good investment for the future.
The kid from Oklahoma State?
Yeah, big kid. And I think he's got a rifle arm, and I think he would fit our system very well. And maybe Ben
Mason Rudolph.
That's it, Mason. Right. So I think that Ben could tutor him. I think that'd be a good choice for the future.
Do you think Ben has got the Mr. Chips in him? You think he's going to, if they go ahead and get some kid.
Yeah. You think he would take it personally like Brady and get him traded to San Francisco? Do I think that? No, I don't think so.
No, hold on a minute. Big Ben has we could do a nice Dr. Melfi on him.
Sure.
On occasion.
Without question.
Right?
Yeah, because he's quitting, he's not quitting, he's quitting.
He's pulling a Favre right now.
When you start talking about that, then it's time to bring a kid in just to be ready. You know what I mean? So when you do want to go, you go.
Well,
and
Josh Dobbs
it ain't going to hurt him to
also,
watch.
They also have Dobbs there too. I don't know what he's going to be.
I don't know. I'd love for him to turn out great. I don't know if he's going to fit our system good. The guy's a rocket scientist, so I'm sure he can figure out anything.
Is, by the way, yes.
But I don't know if he's going to be our guy. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, that's a big if. I think Ben's going to come back as long as that offense is intact. I mean, why would you leave when you have Le'Veon Bell and you have Antonio Brown and you have some of these, Juju, these other guys coming up and starting to spark the offense? All those pieces are in place. But you got to be able to play football and not have to score 40 points a game to win.
Billy Gardell here on the Rich Eisen Show. We'll take a 60-second break, come back, and play a little start bench cut with you.
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll do that. Chris Brockman has only a half an hour to go in clown makeup.
Thank goodness.
Oh, no, we also have a Eisen overtime segment. So there's an extra. You have about 35 minutes to go.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. That's Chris Brockman in the clown makeup. Billy Gardell to my right. Back with you here in 60 seconds. All right, Billy Gardell hanging out with us during the draft that we're talking about.
Yes.
You're going to be in Syracuse, New York.
How do you know this?
I have your tour dates here, sir.
This is awesome. I will be in Syracuse, New York.
At Funny Bone. So you'll be maybe traveling during the first night of the draft because you're there Friday through Sunday.
I'm an old-fashioned guy. I still enjoy the newspaper the day after, and I kind of make my little charts with a yellow tablet. And great minds think alike. I like a yellow tablet. I like to look it over. I like to see what's happening.
Well, for us who are hosting a televised version of the draft, we'd like you to come to the 21st century.
Well, I'm not a fan.
You don't watch a draft?
Wow. I watch when I can, but I like to read the paper the next day and read how it all settled down.
Guy. Look at you. All right, at Funny Bone in Syracuse, New York.
Yes, working on my new hour.
Got to go to Dinosaur Barbecue, Billy.
Okay.
Dinosaur Barbecue downtown.
Right on. I have never passed up a barbecue recommendation.
You won't regret it.
Sadly, that's why I look like I do.
And then May 25th and 26th, you'll be in New Buffalo, Michigan at the Four Winds Casino Resort, and then in Atlantic City at the beautiful Borgata.
One of my favorite places to play, and my friend Michael Simon has a restaurant down there, Angeline, which is just great Italian food. And they got a sports book, and there's some horses that run, Rich. Just working, honey.
Now,
just at work.
Is it true that in both... and I turned to my degenerate in the clown makeup.
I love these two. Are you
Yes,
kidding me?
yes,
You couldn't have better sidekicks.
Thank you, Billy.
Great.
Is it true that in the 2 Villanova runs to championships last 2 years?
Yes, it is true.
That the Friends situation, as we like to call it, the Villanova Wildcats, if you will, covered these friends each and every time. Is that a true story?
They were 12-0 in the 2 championship runs, as we like to say, Rich, against the spread.
Wow.
I tweeted out
That would have been a
they
nice
should build
little
a
tidbit
statue
to
of
have
Jay Wright for that.
when I was betting with my heart last night.
Oh, you bet with your heart.
Well, I got you, and then I got my good friend Matt Nelson, who's a writer, and he's a big Michigan guy. Went there too, and so
Yeah, I
got sucked into the emotion of it.
I'm a National Football League employee, sir. I turn into
No,
unfrozen caveman lawyer.
I was
with that
wagering
stuff.
for fun.
Oh, look at you.
I was wagering just for fun, for dinner.
Okay. Yeah, nice wink and a nod
Yeah.
right there. I like it.
Yeah, 12-0. That's unbelievable.
12-0 against the spread?
in the 2 championship runs.
Wow. They look monstrous, man. And the thing that was scary about them is I watched them. I went to Vegas for the opening weekend, and it just seems like anybody on that team can take over at any time.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them support it, which is really
and when you shoot the
unselfish.
lights out, that helps.
Really, really hard.
Yeah, I mean, as they have 4 guys, if not all 5 guys, who can shoot from anywhere on the floor
Yeah,
anytime.
threes, man.
And if they're not lumbering, then they're going to be able to move without the ball, move with the ball, break down a defense.
Yeah.
And if anybody could shoot a 3,
Yeah.
and anybody can break down a defense, that's it.
What are you going to do?
That's it.
They remind me of the Spurs. When the Spurs went on that run, it's that same kind of just playing fundamental and then shooting assassin shots whenever they needed it. And just quietly up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Billy Gardell here on the Rich Eisen show. Okay, we've got some start bench cuts for you here.
All right, let's do it.
We put people in certain predicaments, so be careful.
I know you do. I'm familiar with the show, Rich.
Very
Fire
good.
away.
Here we go. Billy Gardell.
Start now. Bench.
Just sit down and be quiet.
Or cut.
All right, you have to start one. You got to bench one. You must cut one.
All right, I'm
Billy
ready.
Gardell. You got the music, please, for my Billy Gardell. Pittsburgh sports icon Mario Lemieux,
Okay.
Chuck Knoll, Pop Star Gel.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I got to cut one of them?
Now, notice we took Clemente out of it.
You guys just ripped my heart out right there. Okay, I'm going to cut Mario.
Wow.
And I love him. I love him.
He only saved the damn team.
I love him. No, I love him, and I respect him. But in sports favorites for me, I'm a football fan, a baseball fan, then a hockey fan.
Gotcha.
And it's by a half a game. So I got to cut Mario. I'm going to bench Knoll because Willie Stargell was my idol when I was playing baseball at 9 and 10. I had a bat bigger than I should have, and I did the whirlwind windup. And I loved Willie Stargell because of that was my team when I was a kid, the 79 Pirates, the Lumber Company, We Are Family. And to me, Stargell just looked like somebody's dad who got off work and then drove to the ballpark to play first base. Like he wasn't this ripped up guy, and yet he could hit a ton, and he was the heartbeat of that team. So I'm going to start Stargell.
Were you misting up right there talking about
Maybe a
it?
little bit. Maybe
Did
a
you
little
see
bit.
that?
Maybe a little bit.
You went
Willie
a little. You went
Stargell-
heavy.
I
You
did.
went quarter Vermeil on me right there.
I did little. I had a little Vermeil going. I did because you're talking about major Pittsburgh icons, but Willie Stargell was very special. Plus, I used to listen to Bob Prince call the Pirate games with my grandmother on the back porch, and he would always say "Chicken on the Hill" with Will, and we had him all the way. And Stargell was always the middle of that, so he's very special to me.
Yeah, okay.
First thing I did when I made some money was get some autographed Willie Stargell stuff.
Like on what? A
Well,
bat?
I got a baseball, I got a rookie card signed, and I have a 8x10 of him. You know the old 8x10s they used to have where they're on their knee, holding the bat.
Sure,
and I
yeah.
have that autographed. And Pops was my
How
my
about
guy.
that?
That's my guy.
There you go. All right. Next start bench cut for Billy Gardell. Greatest quarterback from Western PA.
Oh, God.
We have chosen those with trophies.
Okay. All right.
Joe Namath, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas.
Well, I'm gonna bench Unitas because his knees. He needs a rest. or his hands actually. His it was Namath's knees. So we're gonna cut Namath. Look, man, these are hard decisions. All right, it's not easy to be a GM.
Okay.
And I got to start Montana because who don't like Joe Cool, man? You're too small. You're too skinny. You're never going to make it in the NFL. And that's music to a Pennsylvanian's ears. Oh, I can't?
Yeah.
Is that right? Here, let me take my rings off at night. Plink. plink, plink,
right.
plink. So,
You know, and it's amazing at the combine every year.
Yeah.
The 40-yard dash line
right.
is honchoed, if you will, by an old school Pittsburgh Steelers scout named Mark Gorsuch.
Is that right?
Who was Joe Montana's center in high school.
That's awesome. See, that's
I mean, you
awesome.
cannot get more Western PA than
when
that,
you hear
right?
and
At the combine and
all
no.
that stuff, Montana to me was, you're not supposed to be able to do it. That carries to anything you do in this life. I was not supposed to be a 300-pound man who became a romantic lead. So don't tell us we can't do it. That's all I'm saying. So that's why Joe gets the start.
All right, another start bench cut for Billy Gardell.
I love it. Can I stay on for like 2 hours?
You may
doing
do
this?
so.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Best stadium in which to take in a game. Heinz Field,
Okay.
PNC Park, or the old Civic Arena. Billy Gardell.
Man, the Civic Arena while it was there when I was a kid. I saw my first rock concert at the Civic Arena. I saw Billy Joel.
Hey.
And I think there were still, I think we had cigarette butt burns on the floor there right up until they tore the joint down. But we'll have to cut the igloo because that was.
The igloo's cut.
The igloo gets cut. Man, my Steelers are my love, so I got to start.
You're starting Heinz.
I got to start Heinz, and then I'll bench PNC, but they're right there. They're ready to go. Like that, they're a phone call away because it's one of the most beautiful places to watch a baseball game, I think, in the country. And I've been to a bunch of them. That's really spectacular. Not just being a homer. That's a beautifully done stadium.
And I'm not just saying it because of you, but coming out of that Fort Pitt tunnel,
the best.
when it's like Gotham City is right in front
it
of
is.
you.
That's it.
And
That's
when
it.
you do it at night, there's really nothing like seeing that city, Pittsburgh.
And
lit
I
up.
love that that Heinz and PNC are right next to each other.
Yeah.
They're both often lit at the same time.
Yeah, they are. It is beautiful. All right, last one. Last start bench cut for Billy Gardell. We asked this of all of our guests. Best movie.
I mean, really? Come on.
That's a tough one.
The Fugitive.
What's the matter with you two over
The
there?
Fugitive.
Act right.
No, hold on a minute. The Fugitive, Shawshank Redemption, or You've Got Mail.
All right, we're cutting. You've got mail. That's a cut. That's a cut. We're definitely cutting them just because unless you're having dinner with the wife and I don't know why you would watch that.
Or if you're homesick at college and going to the movie theater with mom.
Yeah, okay. That's a mom or college movie, right?
Okay.
That's a wife. That's a date night. You know what I mean? That's a date night. That's not something where I'm walking through the house and I hear the dialogue and I sit down. That's not one of those movies. You know what I mean?
So who are you starting and who are you benching?
What are the other two? Shawshank and what's the other
The
one?
Fugitive.
I'm going to bench The Fugitive.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because after you see Tommy Lee Jones do the, do me a favor while you think me up on them little donuts with the sprinkles. When you see that 9,000 times, I'm done with that movie.
Okay.
And you get to the, I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. Okay, we're done.
You're pointing my gun at me.
I don't negotiate.
Remember what I said to you?
Yeah.
You're pointing my gun at me. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I bench that, and again, it's a phone call away. We could get him up and working at any time.
Yeah. You
And
starting
then
Shawshank?
we got to start Shawshank because that's an epic classic movie. And honestly, I would listen to Morgan Freeman read the phone book.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
By the way, I love asking that question out of context.
I know you do.
In context, Chris Brockman, you cut The Fugitive, and you benched Shawshank and started You've Got Mail.
You started. You should be dressed like a clown.
It's because my freshman year of college, having a bet, my mom came to visit me unprompted on a weekend, and we went and saw that movie in the theater. So it kind of holds a little place in my heart. I'm love my mom.
That's weak. That's just weak.
Shout out to the moms.
You just don't tell nobody about that and keep it in your
brought
heart
it up.
like a secret, like a good Irishman. Suffer
actually,
that
I got whamboozled.
By Sarah, the aforementioned Sarah Tiana slipped me a little bit of information.
She sold. See, I like her even more now.
She sold me out. So.
All right, check out Billy Gardell when he's coming through your town. Next towns are Syracuse, New York in late April, late May, New Buffalo, Michigan, Atlantic City, New Jersey. I follow him on Twitter. You should too at Billy Gardell.
Also, I've been guest starring on Young Sheldon, so check out Young Sheldon.
Fantastic.
Monday nights.
Yeah.
So that's so fun.
Yeah, it's
fun to be
unfortunate
working
that-
for my old boss
Yeah,
again,
it's
Chuck
about
Lorre.
Chuck Lorre. It's unfortunate that guy Chuck Lorre is.
He knows a little bit about
he's flopped
TV.
so many times.
Knows a little bit
man.
about TV.
Still wee bit.
Just a little bit.
And great to see you.
Thank you for having me,
you
man.
got
Always.
it, Billy Gardell.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.